Welcome, everyone, to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin, and my co-host,
M15 PCA.
On this week's episode, we're going to start out with Wonder Woman. I haven't seen it, but my brother has, so he's going to give his thoughts and just reactions to seeing the film. So go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's going to be some spoilers here, so I'm going to
definitely spoilers.
There, so you get a little warning there. So I want to talk about, well, first of all, it pretty much does follow the origin of Wonder Woman, which I really did like. How the fact that her mom basically went into the beach and finally got her, right, and made like a mold of clay. And she told Zeus to give me a daughter. I want a daughter. And she made her a daughter. And that was the first girl, quote unquote, in Themyscira, because the island she's on, it's just Amazon women. There are no kids there, because basically they were fighting with Ares earlier on in the earlier times of the Earth, and then they're fighting him. And like, okay, now we have to kind of like get away. We want to get away from man because we don't want to fight anymore. So then Zeus made this place to protect themselves from Ares in the worlds of the man, the ills of man. Basically, that's what Themyscira is, and that's the backdrop to this movie. Basically, the first part. And then when you see it there, you see her. She's growing up, Diana, and she becomes a warrior woman. At first, her mom doesn't want her to be a warrior, and then she says, "You know what? I want to do this. Is my path. This is what I need to do." Because she was made actually as a weapon too, to fight Ares. You find that early on, but Diana didn't know that. And then she finds out later, like, oh my gosh, I was made as a weapon to fight Ares, but she didn't know that, and that was part of the mission for what Zeus wanted her to do, but her mom didn't want her to leave. And of course, there's the pilot that goes through, which is kind of funny, because in the original comic, you can't let anyone go through the barrier unless you want to. In this one, I guess you can just go right through if you happen to be there.
Yeah, as long as you find it, just invisible, right?
It's invisible, yeah. It's invisible, like, kind of where you reflect it, where you don't see it. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And it gets this guy he finds is the pilot, basically. That's the pilot from, the movie from the original comic. But so funny about it, though, is that this takes place in World War I. Well, the plane in World War II makes more sense. Well, how did this plane get there?
Yeah, there's a prop plane.
Yeah, it's a World War I plane.
Yeah, because I guess in the original one, it didn't have like an experimental jet.
Yeah, and it was World War II, so it makes sense that you could go a little further away. But I guess somehow this base in Europe was close to Themyscira. I guess we'll just go with it.
Close enough for a regular plane to get there.
So I'm assuming it must have been Eastern Europe. I'm assuming they didn't say somewhere it had to be. So anyways, he gets there and he ends up, and Diane rescues him, whatever, and she had never seen a man before because she doesn't know a man. And she finds out, well, he's on a mission, basically, because what he is, he's actually a spy for U.S. intelligence, but he's undercover with the German. He's pretending to be working for Germany, though. And he ends up finding, like, this chemical weapon that the Germans are going to release, like a really bad mustard gas, but it's like super airborne, where it's like super potent. It can kill anyone, like, instantly. Like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. So he basically wants to tell the U.S. this, but then the Nazis end up seeing what he did because they found out he sold a book to the formula, and that's why they're chasing him in that plane. That's why he ends up crashing on the island. And then coming in, there's a cool fight scene where all the soldiers, the German soldiers going after him, and then they end up finding the Amazonian women. So that was a pretty cool little scene there. I mean, choreographic, but you could tell Zack Snyder, even though he just wrote this, a lot of 300, a lot of slow motion,
shields and swords, and
a lot of
I'm pretty sure you could probably take the footage from 300 and overlay it, and it would be pretty similar.
Yeah, even though he didn't see the movie, he would be right.
Yeah,
exactly
but that's the scene that's in the trailers where she like blocks an artillery shell, and then like it's the trench, and all that. You can see a lot of that same kind of cinematography.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just telling you the beginning to give you some little prompt on it, but also, so eventually they leave, and they go on a boat, and they find their way to England, and that's where she finds out, well, it's not like how it is. And this is the part I was kind of worried about. I was like, oh goodness, are they going to do some of this? So she's a woman outside, fish out of water. They did it for one scene when she's in the place where she's trying to get clothes to fit in, but it wasn't too bad. They kind of got away from that, which I'm kind of glad, because I was worried that was going to be throughout the whole movie. And so she ends up getting the clothes that she needs to fit in, basically, and then it turns out he ends up finding, he goes and he already finds the British people that he's working with, the U.S., and he gives them the information, okay, that's what they're going to do. But they tell him, well, we don't want you to attack. Well, what do you want us to attack? Because we're going to have the peace accords are coming up. So he's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? I can't, this is what we have to stop these people. With these peace accords, we don't know what's going on. And Diane at the same time told him earlier, well, Ares is affecting all these people. This is why the peace accords are going to go through, and no one believes it. And this one British guy who's one of the top guys said, okay, I'm going to give you the go-ahead. I'm going to give you the money and the funds so you can go over there to stop this thing. Like, oh, at the time you think, oh, what a good guy. But you don't realize later on how that turns out to be.
Yeah, and Ares has the ability to just influence people to do aggressive things, to do bad things. Yeah. So he doesn't make them do it. He just makes them more prone to do it.
Yes, definitely.
So there's like a sphere of influence. Like he can just poison you with just him being around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's how he is, basically. He's just a god of just chaos and destruction, too. So she finally gets there, and she thinks it's this one guy, the one who's been making the weapons, the chemical weapons, and it's not really him. I mean, it is him, but if you find out later on that he was being influenced by Ares the whole time, and it turns out the person who influenced Ares was that old British guy. And you're like, oh my goodness, he's Ares? Like, he looks like nothing, but again, he could be anything, you know?
Yeah, he has like magic and stuff,
so yeah. And he influenced, man, I love, like, he even used parallels if you think of, like, the Bible, as the devil saying, well, I just tell them these things, they don't have to do it. Yeah, but you know what you're doing. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
you can influence
You're guilty, shut up. Stop being BSing.
And at the end, there's a real touching scene where that guy she's with, they fall in love, of course, and that he ends up dying to save her because he has a bunch of chemical weapons, but he takes them on a plane and blows up because he knows he can't let anyone get these weapons. Because
too powerful,
so he blows himself up. And he sacrifices himself. And then now, and he's also that same guy in that picture that you see, and if you've seen Batman vs Superman, you're looking at yourself like, this would have meant something. This would have came out before Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, it would have been a touching moment.
But it's like it's not as meaningful because they did it all wrong. But that's DC, and that's not what we're talking about DC, but that's exactly what we're talking about. And now I want to talk about kind of my impressions. At the end, she ends up being in God of War, of course, and then World War II ends and all that stuff. I want to say my impressions of it overall, I liked it. I thought it was good. It's not as good as what some people make it out to be, but overall, I did like it. The feminine tone wasn't too bad. And she was a strong, quiet, strong character, which I kind of liked, I mean, she has a quiet actress. Even though she doesn't look like Wonder Woman in terms of body build, but she does fit that mold. And I think that really did help the movie overall.
She has good energy. Yeah, she exudes confidence and strength.
Definitely. So I would recommend to go see it if you're like a Wonder Woman fan, if you like DC, and
if you want to see a good DC movie
for once in your life, and since the Nolan movies they don't count anymore, yeah, you should go see it. So that's basically my impressions on it.
So with the ending of that, just today, probably a few hours ago, Marvel has released the teaser trailer for Black Panther. Even though it says teaser, it's like 2 minutes long. I don't know why they call it teaser, but it should be a trailer. And again, it looks phenomenal. Just every Marvel film, especially the trailers, they're so good. Oh. I want to know more about this country and then Wakanda. I want to know more about the warriors, their technology. The guys are fighting. Who's this? Like, oh, that's the guy who was in Creed. Like, oh, what's he gonna do? Like, you're just wanting more. At the end of this trailer, you're just like, oh my god, I want to see this film.
The thing about a lot of Marvel, especially MCU Marvel films, is that they flesh out things. And you can see this whole world, and you can see all these wondrous things, and it's intriguing to see.
And you just see that there's that little action scene in the beginning. Mm-hmm. He's just so freaking awesome. Like, he's up in the trees, and he's just jumping down, kicking, just beating the crap out of these guys. And he's just taking full-on machine gun fire, like, right in the chest. Like, his armor's so strong, it doesn't even phase him. Mm-hmm. They're like throwing grapes at somebody. That's how weak these bullets are to him. And he's just the defender of his land. It's just so cool to see this strong character. And most people didn't even know who Black Panther was. But Marvel can take these 5th, 6th tier heroes and make their movies seem amazing.
Guardian Galaxy comes to mind. No one knew Guardian Galaxy before it came out. Nobody.
I knew it existed, but I couldn't tell you who was on it.
No.
I knew Rocket Raccoon. That's all I knew. I didn't know anyone else.
I think, remember, because I saw it one time when it was on Disney XD back in the mid-2000s, and one guy was I knew Peter Quill.
Yeah.
I didn't say his name. Like, I knew, he's the head of it, but I didn't realize.
But Marvel can take that and make it into an absolutely amazing film. And Black Panther, going back to that, for a 1 and 52-second trailer, it was great. I loved it. A+ trailer. But again, all Marvel trailers are great. I don't think there's ever been a Marvel trailer I'm like, oh, that looks crappy.
No, we're not excited to see it.
It just makes you super excited. After you see it, like, oh man, I want to go see this. But of course, it's going to be down the line. But
February next year. Yeah.
So that's actually #1 right now on YouTube as of this recording. It's just trending #1. Look at that, with a 3.8 million views, and it's been out for a few hours. That shows you how excited people are for Marvel films.
Oh, definitely.
And segue into other Marvel things back into video games. I guess the character list for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out, and the list isn't bad. We'll have a link to all the characters. I guess on the Capcom side, you got Mega Man, Ryu, Chris Redfield, Morgan, Chun-Li, Strider.
That's cool. Strider.
Sigma, Nemesis, a Hunter character. This is all rumor, but everyone pretty much says this is confirmed. The Hunter character from Monster Hunter. Arthur, Firebrand, Leon Kennedy, Jeddah, Nathan Spencer, Captain Commando, Dante, Frank West, and Ashura.
Well, as long as they don't make him as strong Jeddah as they did in the Capcom fighting.
Yeah, I like Jeddah. Jeddah was cool. It was a cool Darkstalkers character.
Really cool.
And then on the Marvel side, we have Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Ultron, Hawkeye, Rocket Raccoon. I guess Groot and Rocket are one character.
Yeah, that's
which is kind of lame. I wish they would have split that up.
They're cheaping it there, but
Spider-Man, Doctor Octopus, Venom, Songbird, which I think is a strange pick. Miss Marvel, Ant-Man, Thanos, Black Panther, which should be really cool. Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, and Black Widow. And you notice we didn't say any mutants.
No, that's a big problem.
Wolverine did not make the first cut, which is so disappointing.
Cyclops didn't make the first cut.
That's the news. The news isn't the list of the characters, it's who they left out. And of course they left out all the mutants.
Again, it's like here you think they're making, piecemeal with Fox and the MCU together with when it comes on the movie side. You say maybe they'll starting to bleed over in the video games, and no, it hasn't. I mean,
and within this leak or rumored leak, they're talking about some DLC, and then the first DLC pack is a Fantastic Four versus Darkstalkers, and is going to feature 8 characters. Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, Super Skrull, Felicia, Talbot, and a couple others. Then the most disappointing thing is there's an X-Men vs Street Fighter DLC. Oh, cool! They were going to get our X-Men characters. It's only going to feature 6 characters, and on the Marvel side, you're only getting Wolverine, Cyclops, Deadpool. That's it. Ridiculous. That's it for mutants. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely. I know Marvel. I know you don't own the rights to the mutants for the movies, but my goodness, do you really have to screw the mutants over in the video games?
Even I'll say this right now, to be honest with you. On the Street Fighter side, that would be cool than getting Ryu, Zankoff, and Dazzlem.
Yeah, that's it. And that's it. Nothing else.
Okay, that's it. You're not getting a Ken. You're not getting a Kyle. You're not getting any of those characters.
It's just crazy. I thought for sure they were going to do X-Men DLC that featured like 10 characters.
I thought at least 6. Come on, 6.
And this is a $60 game. And how much are these DLCs going to cost? It's going to be a $100 fighting game. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get it now.
I not right away. I think I'm going to wait until it goes down in price. And it starts to go
the
down.
Base game goes down in price, and then I can spend $15 on some extra characters.
Yeah, and it's like $30 to buy. I'm not spending $60. There's no flipping way. It's too much.
Just disappointing.
Yeah,
just absolutely disappointing.
Sad, actually.
And then the next video game news that the Nintendo E3. This is coming from NeoGaf, so they're pretty good on these leaks.
Pretty accurate, about 90+%. Yeah.
Nintendo's E3 press conference is 25 minutes long. I heard there's supposed to be a Treehouse event afterwards. That's supposed to be all DS stuff, but only 25 minutes long. That's pathetic.
That's real pathetic.
Because unless they're going to just show wall-to-wall games and like have no talking, like no presenters, no nothing, just nothing but games, which I doubt.
That's not Nintendo. They
always like to talk it up and
have a little skit and everything. So it's like that's ridiculous, guys. I mean, think of it this way. It's only going to be 25 because it's all pre-recorded. Yeah. So there's not going to be any extra stuff in there to be thrown in. No, that's it, guys. That's all we're getting. That's bad, guys. That's really bad.
Yeah, 25 minutes long.
I mean, in the past, I know Nintendo's had short press conferences, but at least they were close to an hour. At least that.
And on the flip side, Microsoft is going to be over 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
Literally, it's because they said there's going to be so many games. There's so many games that they want to make sure, because people are recording it on TV, to make sure to set it to record over, because they think they're going to end up going over because they want to show so many games.
Oh, I guarantee it's going to be more like an hour 45. I guarantee it's going to be around there because it's going to be so much to talk about.
And it just seems like, if you would ask who cares more about their consumers, about their games showing new stuff, 25 minutes of, unless they're showing bang-to-bang nonstop coverage of different video games, but then what are you dedicating? 2 minutes to each game? 1 minute and 5 seconds?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see it, but we see Nintendo can do no wrong. They can do anything they want. They're selling an empty box in Japan for the Switch.
Yeah, for the Switch, and people buy it. So they say they have a box. It's just a box, guys. I could have did that. I could print that out. Here you go. It's a box. So
Nintendo can do no wrong. It doesn't matter what they do. They can walk on stage and pass out, and then everyone will be clapping and saying it's the greatest Nintendo revolution of all time. So
it's insane. It's literally insane.
I think they just want to see what they can get away with. Let's sell an empty box and have a 25-minute press
Can
conference.
you top this? And that's what it seems like.
Yeah, it looks like it's time for a switch where we don't cover things very much.
I know, exactly. I agree with that.
But in kind of really screwed up video game news, CD Projekt Red, the guys who've done the Witcher video games, excellent video game series. And we've been hearing about their Cyberpunk 2077. We saw a trailer a couple years ago. It looked pretty cool. The game's completely under wraps. We have no idea what this game's going to be about. But apparently, there are some hacker people got a hold of some of the media files, some of the, I guess, pictures, video feeds, stuff like that. And they are ransoming the people at CD Projekt Red, saying either you give us X, Y, and Z, money, whatever they're asking for, or we're going to leak these documents to the internet. And that's really screwed up. Like, come on, guys. This is a company that's like really pro-consumer. They love their fans. They're a small group of guys, and they make great video games, and then they're being targeted by hackers.
And the thing that's worse about this, say they give them the money, whatever, and all that. Who's to say to stop them doing that to someone else or doing it to I mean, we don't need to, or even start copycats. We don't need this. This is terrible.
And
guys.
I guess CD Projekt Red put out on Twitter basically explaining the situation, saying we're not going to pay these guys anything.
Good.
We're going to do nothing that these people say. So if stuff comes out and you see it, just understand that it's old material, that it's not representative of the game, and if it isn't coming from them specifically, from CD Projekt Red, don't really look at it. Don't trust it. They're doing the best by the customer, and these guys are just a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, they are.
Just terrible people to do something like that to a cool company. I know people say they hate EA, then they Sony, Microsoft, all those corporate dudes. Of all the video game companies, CD Projekt Red is probably the most friendly to their customers. They're us.
That would be the quote unquote what you would say in the video game industry, the good guys.
Yeah, they're the good. Yeah, they're definitely the. Yeah, that's the best
guys.
way to put it. They're the good guys when it comes to people making games and stuff. So you know what? So if anyone posts stuff that isn't from them, just ignore it.
Oh yeah.
Don't give
definitely.
these hackers the benefit of the doubt or anything like that. Just leave that information.
But you know, some
to
people
yourself.
will though because they don't care. They want
we're
to
hungry
play the
for
game.
information.
Information, they're not going to care.
And in more sad video game news, the Shenmue 3 on the PS4 has been pushed back to the second half of 2008. And that was from the director, Yu Suzuki. And that's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I know just the Shenmue games are huge. They're always gigantic. They're these big, giant productions. But, I mean, they had a Kickstarter. And
well, not like 3 years ago. I think 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, and people put money into this thing.
Yeah.
And now they're not going to get the... You know, they're still going to get their product, but it's like, oh yeah, we were delayed it again. Oh yeah, we delayed it again.
But not only that being delayed, and this is another problem I have with people putting money. You know, I think a lot of newcomers don't even know what Shenmue's about. I know what it is. I love the game. I love the story and what it's about. They don't know what they're putting their money into.
We played Shenmue on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
We played Part 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And we cared about the characters in the story. We cared about him avenging his father's death and finding out the mystery of the mirror, all this cool stuff. I don't think people are prepared for this type of game. It is a slow game.
Yeah, it's story-driven.
But it's character and story-driven.
Yeah, very much so. Second one did spice up with more fighting, but still it's not action-packed.
If you don't care about the story, you're gonna have a hard time playing this game.
Yeah, because it's also a lot of quick time events and stuff that's kind of dated now. People don't do
Yeah, I mean, quick time
anymore.
events are almost cliche, and like people hate those things now.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they gonna bring it back? Because there's always like a scene where like you're running through an alleyway and you gotta dodge boxes or jump over.
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
cool.
silly because you do stuff you couldn't do normally in the game without that quick time event. And I tell you how much a fan I is. I still have a copy of it in my room right now in my closet, so I can maybe put that in post. I'll show you a picture of it right now.
It's just that
Shenmue 2?
you know, a delayed game. I think I forgot. Was it? I forgot who said it, but he said, was it Morimoto said it? Said that a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game will always be bad.
Yes, true.
Or something like, I'm pretty sure I'm messing up that quote, but basically that is true. But to the second half of 2018, so it's over a year away.
Oh yeah,
over a year at the minimum. It's over a year away.
I'm thinking even maybe 2019. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be really pushed back, and that's not fair to the people to put money into it. Did they get anything to put money into? Or was it just a DRM? Not DRM, but what do they call those? The seed money for Sony?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
yeah, the seed money for them.
The R&D.
The R&D. There you go. R&D. I don't know why I said the other one. Stupid. That's something else. Yes, definitely. They put money into it. Did they get anything for it now? I mean, they're just kind of waiting, saying, "Oh well, thanks for giving us your money," and didn't get nothing.
It just seems a little weird that the whole Kickstarter for this game. The game's so huge. I mean, Sony, just front the dang bill. Don't take, we need your extra money. Sony, come on. You're not an indie developer. You got money.
That's what I'm saying. That's it. Why didn't they? They did that, what we just talked about just about a minute ago about that. Like, yeah, are you kidding me? But they want to do it because they think it's okay to do it because we're Sony and we can get away with it like we said Nintendo.
I don't think,
it's not as bad, but it's still there, though.
It's weird. I don't like any Kickstarters at all, just because it just seems so weird, especially coming from a major production company. I don't like, if it's someone's doing like their little project and you can tell they're just a guy in his house and he has an idea, he just needs money. I mean, you don't get that from Sony. They're not like people in a garage, in an apartment trying to get something together. No, they're multi-billion-dollar corporation.
They don't need any extra money.
They don't need our money before the product.
But it's so funny. I wonder if they're going to add things from like the first game to this game. Like I'm thinking like little touches, like how like literally they put in because you're playing this. It takes place in the 80s. They actually put the real weather patterns in Japan for that day in the game.
So if it was raining on that day back in the 80s, it's raining in the game.
Yeah,
that's just crazy. That's cool.
I like little touches like that. They used to do that in the football games too, but not necessarily then. But the NFL 2K, they would do that too, which I thought was funny.
And you think it's random, but it's not. You can actually literally see what the weather's going to be the next day in your game if you actually go back.
Look at this.
It really matters, but it's just kind of a cool.
I like little touches like that. And then they have games within games, like the old Sega games, which is really cool. I wonder if they're going to do that. I mean, I know this isn't what I want in the game, but in the end, I don't even have a PS4, so it would be fun
and
to
it's
play.
on PC too.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Will it ever get an Xbox release? Probably not. But
no, exactly, which is a real shame.
Even though Xbox took a risk in putting Shenmue 2 on the original Xbox.
Yes.
But whatever, that's, that's the past.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. It's not now, though.
And with all that, this is all leading into E3, which happens on Sunday.
Yep.
And that's going to be... E3, I think's lost a little bit of its luster.
Oh, definitely.
Because with the internet, with leaks, and Ace Combat dropped their trailer. This new Vampire game dropped its trailer, and those are the trailers. Those are their E3 trailers, and we got them a little early.
Yeah, because they realized, well, let's see. I might get lost in the shuffle if I do it during E3, but if I do it early, people are starting for content. Everyone's going to be watching it. That's why they do it.
And so, but that takes away from the big stage shows.
Yes.
The big presentations. If they show that trailer, I'm like, oh, I already saw that trailer.
Yeah.
I want to fast forward and skip through that. But with E3, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is Scorpio, just to see price point, what kind of games,
the raw power, and
what is the benefit we're going to get over normal games. I think you got to sell this thing hard to get this thing to go. Especially if it's over $400.
Oh, that's gonna be tough for me.
I think $399 is literally my ceiling. That is my hard ceiling. If it's over $399, I'm gonna have to wait on it.
Yeah, I've never waited on an Xbox system, but since it's just an upgrade of the one I have now, it's like, do I really even need it if it's like $500? No, not really. I don't. And then pushing a 4K television. Yeah, that's gonna fully maximize the graphics of it.
Yeah, see, people say that you'll see a difference even on a normal HD TV, but you want you want a 4K TV.
Yeah,
you want to have that.
A lot there. I mean, come on, you want the best of the best. If you're gonna splurge that kind of money at that point.
But from what we're seeing, people are saying they're liking it. They're seeing, with all that extra RAM that they're putting in there and all that kind of stuff for developers. I don't know how to make games, but the more resources you give a game developer, the more things they can do. That's all I know.
Yeah, and hopefully the end result we get something like, I don't know, Destiny being 60 frames per second.
Destiny 2.
And Scorpion.
Because it isn't... Destiny 2 is not 60 frames per second, even on the PS Pro.
Yeah.
Which is lame.
Yeah, when we talked about the things that we didn't like or did like about Destiny 2 when they did reveal, that was the thing that we said that we didn't like. So we're just,
So hopefully if that Scorpio can say that, because that's a big game for us. Even though Destiny has its up and downs, that is still a big game for me personally. I want Destiny 2 to be a good game.
Yes.
I don't want it to fail. There's people out there who want games to fail. I don't want this game to fail. I want it to be good. I want it to have strong story and characters and, moving on. But that 60 frames per second really kills me on consoles.
Yes.
It really does. So hopefully Scorpio...
Because that's a standard now. It's a standard. I'm sorry for my first shooters and not to have that. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker. And to know that if your PC strong enough, you can even get up to 144 frames.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How amazing that will look.
It's going to make Destiny 2 videos look like... That's another thing. So, Scorpio, Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the surprise games that we never knew.
There's always one or two. And then sometimes they don't fully...
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3 we want to see, but I don't know when that's coming out. They say 2017, but...
So is there anything in particular you're looking forward to in E3?
Well, let's see. You covered Scorpio. I think that's a big one. I'm really looking forward to that. And things I want to say more that I was looking forward to, but not anymore. Like more on the independent games, like Cuphead. I don't care anymore.
It's been so long. If it comes out and it's $15, I might buy it. But if it's more than
like
15,
30, nah,
I might literally wait for it to be the free game with gold.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, you took too long, and I don't care, and it just should not take this long for a shooter.
Interest peaked about 6 months ago.
Yeah,
and now it's just on a slow downhill.
Yeah,
and it's just getting less and less every day.
Oh yeah. Because remember, I think the first game trailer came out in 2014. I could be wrong.
I know it's a small team. I think it's like 2 guys or something, right? But come on,
you got to bring it out.
I don't know what to say. It's been a long time.
But one thing I am looking forward to, I think it's kind of cool, even though they have a lot of them. I guess Dragon Ball Z games coming out. But interesting about that, it's supposed to be 3-on-3. All like what a Marvel's Capcom 2 was like. So that could be really cool.
And it's being done by Arc System, the guys who did Blaze Blue and stuff like that. So they know how to make great, flashy games, fighting games. So, and again, Dragon Ball Z, if there's anything in the world that needs to be flashy with explosions and stuff like that, Dragon Ball Z is that type of game. So that, again, from the screenshots they showed of it, it looked pretty cool. Definitely looking forward to that. And from Sony, there's the God of War. Looks like it could be kind of cool.
It looks all right. Again, Final Fantasy 7 would have been more exciting if they weren't changing the whole mechanic and making it action-based.
And we don't even... And that's another thing. Same thing with Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 7. We have no idea when these games are coming out anymore.
No, we don't.
Again, those got pushed back, I think. And it's just like... and it's episodic, and I don't know what...
And how much is it per episode?
If they want... like, I'm guessing $15 per episode.
It better be. It can't be no 30 or 40.
Unless these episodes are huge. But but we don't know. We have no idea.
Exactly.
Sony announces these things, and then they go to bed, and then it's like a sleeping giant.
But I could see getting it, and you're playing it on your PS4, and you're like, oh, yeah, I want to play the original. You know, I want that format. I want the turn-based, if you're a fan of it.
Yeah, and it's like an action game, and then, I don't know. So I'm more willing to be surprised for E3. I'm not really following any particular game.
No,
and then from Nintendo...
I mean, 25 minutes, you're really limiting. I mean, maybe you talk about ARMS more. I don't know how that they say it's okay. I know it already came out, but are you going to show any DLC on that? If people are hyping up like it's the greatest game ever, it's okay. I mean, I see Virtual On. I'm sorry, I haven't played it personally.
Custom Robo was another game that's a third person.
And I think it looked way better.
I don't know. It's for Nintendo, I don't know what I want to see. I would love to see a new Metroid.
A new Mario?
An actual core Metro
Let's
game.
See more on the
Not
Mario.
The new stuff on the Mario game, which Mario games are always amazing and always great. But Zelda, we got a big Zelda game. We're not going to see another Zelda game for years and years and years.
No, we're not. And that's sad.
Except for maybe little side games.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what, Nintendo fans? We're not going to see friggin', Overwatch ever on the Switch.
There's stuff like that. These AAA titles coming to the Switch. It's not going to happen, guys. It's just not going to happen because if you can't even run Overwatch, and that's not this physically demanding game.
No, it's not.
They can't even run that on the Switch, so you're never going to...
So, guys...
It's just not going to happen.
No, exactly.
Unless they get, like they did for the Wii U, there's a Wii U version of the game. So there'll be a Switch version of the game that just will have to be lower res, will have to have fewer content for characters and stages and stuff like that, and that's what Nintendo's going to be.
Yeah, definitely, and I just not really looking forward to them, So it's just I don't know.
Well, and we'll definitely do a E3 reaction after the fact.
After the fact,
and depending on how much content there is, we may or may not split them up between the different companies. But if there's just enough to do in one video, we'll just throw it all in one video.
Yeah, we'll try to do it in one video, definitely.
So that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Thanks for watching. I was your host, Crimson Sin.
I'm N15 PCA.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
See you later. Bye.